Hey, what's going on, team? It's Ricky with Learn Blind Profit. Hope that you guys are all having a good start to the morning. I really do apologize for being 30 minutes late. So I posted in the Discord chat what happened. I do apologize. There we go. Oh, man. There we go. Trying to pull back. There it goes. Good morning, good morning. Tesla with a strong push. Alrighty. Let's see. So right now I'm waiting for TQs to pull back a little bit just so we can get a little bit of a better deal. It's much easier to see on /NQ kind of what it is that we had going on during the pre-market session. So we had a very aggressive sell-off, ended up bouncing right around this general support range where it's been doing a lot of consolidation. Since then, made a strong recovery, made new highs, all-time highs again. One of the things that I was thinking about last night was /NQ has been on such a consistent green streak, and the red days that it had is pretty much none. I think it's had one where it didn't end up in the green, and it was just down 0.20%. That's one of the things that really began to catch my eye with /NQ, that it has seriously, for the past maybe 10 days, been on a consistent green streak nonstop. Very minimal pullbacks. It is super overbought, and it just continues and continues to push up. So I can easily see why a lot of people are anticipating a reversal, but again, don't get caught up in the idea or the hope that it has to reverse, as nothing has to happen. As you guys can see, it takes a while for this thing to pull back, and it takes no time for this thing to make a recovery. So just make sure that you guys are aware of that and stuff like that. So let's see. Hey Ricky, do you use hotkeys? I have my I don't think it's viewed as hotkeys. I have like my command keys is what it's set up as. Where do you see /NQ going in the next 30 days? I cannot tell the future, right? It's not about where I see it going. It's bullish. If anything, it's continuously pushing up. The thing that we always want to anticipate is when something pushes up for a very long period of time and there is no correction. Don't be surprised if we see an aggressive sell-off right back to the SMA line, right? But as of right now, it has barely broken below the EMA line, which I think is pretty interesting. It's just so bullish, and yeah, it's thriving, to say the least. Again, a lot of consolidation. I am a sleepy head today. Timmy Lee. I'd be more than happy to throw one in even if it didn't for you. So If you want to send me a message on Discord on whichever design you want, and then I'll send it on over to you. How does that sound? And also just send me like your order number from the previous order so I can send it to the right address. So do you ever take naps, Ricky? Yeah, I haven't the past couple of weeks. I normally used to almost all the time on a schedule take like a midday nap just because I would have to wake up so early and then do our work. But um, no, I almost always try to, and then it just never works out. So appreciate you, Timothy. What's going on, Jalen? What's up, my guy? How you doing? There it goes. Nah, I wanted to wait for a little bit more of a dip. I thought we would get one, and it looks like obviously I was wrong. I don't know. I just didn't see those margins to be necessarily worth it, but I could be wrong. Actually, don't look too horrible. No, it's 0.5%, but uh, correct. Vantage trading. So due to the stock split, yeah, Apple's still pushing nonstop. Looks like it's pulling back a little bit today, so just be careful with that. Yeah, I mean, the idea, Nate, is that you're putting in work and you're seeing progress in the right direction. So it's not so much about obviously the profit when you're just getting started, because you're trading with such a small dollar amount that it might not necessarily be worth it, right? In the monetary aspect. But again, it's kind of like when you're starting to do anything, you're learning, and you shouldn't expect to make the most money when you're just getting started. The stock market is no different, right? You might get lucky from time to time, and you can make a killing, right? If you just get lucky, but big picture, you want to set yourself up for success, and you want to understand what it is that you do. So you don't hope on getting lucky, that you actually understand what it means and what it takes to take advantage of an opportunity. And that's the way that I think I would put it is, even if you do have red days and your green days aren't coming around as often, maybe being more selective, or just seeing that you are making some progress. That's the biggest thing. It's like, you know, the way that I learned how to trade and the way that I scaled doesn't have to be a copy and paste format for you. For anyone that you're working with, right? We all learn at different levels, we all learn at different paces, and we all scale at different, paces as well. So just make sure that you're doing yourself a favor and that you're scaling and making progress at your own pace. So when you look back, even a month from now, ask yourself, are you a better trader? Are you more disciplined? Are you more structured? And have you gained more experience? I did not. So FDA approvals, I did with pharmaceutical companies. Uh, that's why I don't trade them anymore. So majority of them don't end up going through FDA approval. They shoot up when there's news that, hey, this company is pending FDA approval, and they'll shoot up, and that's what catches your attention. That it's like, hey, they shot up. Just imagine what happens when they do pass FDA approval. That's normally how they get you. Um, but yeah, for me, it just didn't work out well. I'm not here to tell you that they're not something that you should trade. I'm never here to restrict or hold you back from anything that you see value in. I just know that more often than not, right, if I'm going to focus on consistency, more often than not, those normally just ended up correcting themselves and pulling right on back and continuously selling off. So, yeah. Do you think that we should buy Apple after the split, or should we wait? I don't know. I don't know how it's going to react. I don't. No one like this. This is not a normal thing of someone announcing a stock split and then it's shooting up because it becomes more affordable, and then like no one actually knows exactly what's going to happen. So, it all I would encourage you to focus on is proper risk management. If you don't understand the risk, then you don't understand the upside versus the downside, right? So why put yourself in that kind of position? If you're like in a position where I'm just going to put, I'm going to buy one share and whatever happens, happens, then sure. If that's your mentality, then so be it. But just understand that if it drops, whatever the percentage might be, that you anticipate that and prepare for that. So if you're going to anticipate the success, make sure that you accept the potential loss as well, right? It was the other way around, Quentin. It wasn't that Apple decided to do it because Tesla did. It was Tesla followed up with Apple. Uh, and it wouldn't surprise me if many others that are doing well, like just imagine if Amazon were to do a stock split, right? Wow. Oh, as we talked about Netflix yesterday, what a missed opportunity on our side, on my side. BIGC. Whoa. What is this, Pascal? IPO after latest Instagram collaboration, 61 biggest movers. Looks like all they talk about is that it's the biggest mover for the day. So I just think that they're getting a lot of momentum from that, right? Does it continue to get halted? I have no idea what this is. So sort of like Shopify. But it's a recent IPO. Was it a merger or was it? Some are saying it's the new Shopify. I've heard of that. Someone is saying it's the new Tesla, right? Um, I don't know enough about this to give you a solid opinion. All I know is, Pascal, right? It's when something pushes up this aggressively within a very short period of time, and especially if there's just a bunch of hype news, right? No actual fundamentals, it's just actual news to drive more traffic, and a lot of momentum traders take part of it. There's nothing wrong with day trading it, but for you to think that obviously it is so overbought, can it continue to push up? Of course, there's no question that anything can happen. But let's see where it was at $70, and it's pushed up 80%, which isn't. It's a lot. But yeah, you could see the difference from its current volume, based off of what it was trading like before. So yeah, it's crazy volume, crazy demand, a lot of hype, and it will continue until there's, you know, just one thing that if it's on the technical side that it just pulls back and a good enough amount of people lose money. I think that's what really would scare people when it has earnings. What the? Okay. That's unfortunate for such a recent IPO to have earnings already. But I appreciate you sharing this one with me. It doesn't meet my criteria, right? It's a little bit too aggressive for me, but I can see why other people are paying attention to it, especially on the day. It's super overbought. It almost looks like a missed opportunity now. So if we're to wait for a pullback, then maybe, and then overall signs of a reversal. But until then, yeah. Okay, they teamed up with Facebook. That said Instagram, I guess it's the same thing, right? All right. That's interesting. I'd love to learn more about it. That's something that I'll make sure that I do today. Strong push. Jesus. /NQ. Again, I don't know how many times we have to say this. It takes forever for it to sell off, and it took 1 minute for it to just recover. It's just a perfect example of how bullish the market is. There's just nothing that we can do about it other than going with the flow until the pattern is broken. So I have seen that now that I'm thinking about it. We got an email for this, or for the Instagram checkouts. There it goes. Big push. How does this look? Get another 0.5%. Tesla pushing up with another run. How do you trade in these kind of markets? Well, this is a little different because since the market has opened, well, since I've even been here, it's just been consolidating. So during that time, I probably won't trade, right? When it's not that direction is unclear, it's that we're not really making higher highs, we're not really making lower lows. It's kind of, it's already done most of its movement, and then now it's just holding up here, which is something that I personally don't like to trade because, like I just said, the margins aren't worth it. And it's not that it's impossible, it just means that maybe you just have to be more selective. We could see a very common resistance range, right? You guys could all see it here, and a very common support range where it's right around like 11,770 for /NQ. So we can see what it's doing. There's a pattern that wants the margins to be worth it. If it is for you, all power to you. And if it's not for you, then cool. Let's wait. And yeah, as of right now, it's consolidating long enough that I don't know. All we're anticipating is a pullback, and I think that's been really holding me back from going in aggressively. I don't know if you guys can agree, and now that I'm just thinking about it, it's like my past couple of days trading, I haven't been very aggressive with the way that I trade, especially when I'm trading TQs, because I find it like just so overbought that like I'm not afraid to. I'm trying to be more, just because it's so overbought and not a good deal, but it's so bullish. I know I should have some money in it as it continues to push up throughout the day, but the margins are normally so small that like I don't have the confidence to like trade with like over $50,000 in a TQ's position, which has real. I mean, first of all, TQs and SQs doesn't normally move very much within the day, right? And because of that, by having a smaller position size, I haven't been able to have those like very uber successful days. But we have these sessions. We've had sessions where like I'm closing $1,000 or $1,500 days every single day, right? But I also have these sessions where it's even hard to break $1,000 once a day or once throughout the week, or one day throughout the week. But yeah, as of right now, it's just all I can say is I don't have the reassurance, nor do I have confidence in TQs that it's going to continue to push up, that I choose to trade with a smaller position size when I'm in TQs because of that. And you can, yeah, it's just I'm trying to be more selective, and I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I am experiencing smaller green days, But also, because of that, we could also experience smaller red days, which is a win-win, right? Um, but yeah, I think once TQs or /NQ pulls back to the SMA line, I'd be down to go in with a 100K position size. Because it would, for me and the way that I'm wired and the way that it would make sense to me, it's like, dude, I'll buy as much as I can with my trading account, and it would make sense then, right? Right now, it's just, and if you have the confidence still, then cool. I wish you and hope nothing but the best for you, and um, I'm sure you're killing it, right? I need to be more selective when things are overbought, and that's what I'm there to share with you. It's what we try to talk about when other stocks are very overbought, kind of like Tesla right now. Tesla hasn't really been making higher highs anymore from when it hit 2100. Doesn't mean that it can't. It's not thriving, or it's not progressing as quick as it was before because it's become so overbought. Do you get what I mean? And I think that's the thing that people just need to think about, that at that point, the risk for a pullback becomes, in my opinion, too high. That calculated risk. That's right. So just know what you're getting yourself into, and don't, again, I'm not gonna be taking positions to try to show off or to try to outperform someone, because we all have our kind of seasons, right? I have seasons where it's almost like I'm like on a green streak and I feel like unstoppable, but then I also have dry spouts that kind of like this, where they're like choppy weeks, and I have green days but they're not as green. I have a couple red days, and it's just like it's like but yeah, I don't know how else to put it other than it pays big picture to be selective, and over time, there's nothing wrong with having your own opinion on what you feel comfortable trading. So it looks like we might see a little bit of a breakout if we actually, it almost looks like we're showing signs of this bull flag with the resistance right around, I don't know if it's going to be 1800, but if we see a pop above 1800, it wouldn't really surprise me. Is it bad that I wanted to pull back? No, I think a lot of people want it to pull back. It should have saved, Eric, especially if it's like a normal account. I do apologize for that. As long as you're using the same computer that you were at first, then it's your computer. It's a private one with, that you download the software. It should save. Jason Beals is saying boring. I know. I'm a boring dude. Today is definitely a slower day, but again, Jason, I'm not here to try to impress you, right? We have our good days and we have our slow days. So there it is. Talked about that little potential breakout. Let's see if we break above 1800. There it goes. Broke above 1800. Let's see. There it goes. There it goes. New highs. Not 1800, I apologize. 11,800. You just got to make some dad jokes. I like that, Kev. I agree. Can you give me your opinion on AMBO? Yeah, let's check it out. Super low volume, so I would definitely not trade this myself. Yeah, so that because of that low volume itself, anything can really, a lot of things can move it. So because of that, I'd be very careful. And I do agree, it is a little bit more on the oversold side, so I see why you're paying attention to it based off previous patterns because you see the upside potential. I just want you to know that, again, patterns tend to repeat themselves, they don't always have to. So if you want to wait for confirmation and test things out, just be very careful with your position size because, again, it has super, super low volume where that's just a little scary, right? I haven't seen one of those in a while. Test it out, Drew. Test it out, and if it works well for, the way that you trade, then cool. It's all about trial and error. Just because I don't find it to be a good indicator doesn't mean that you shouldn't or anything like that, right? So just make sure that whatever it is that you ever see value in, you think that you see value in, it's a trial and error, right? So you test it out, see if it works for you, not just one time, but you can test it out in a couple different ways or approaches and refine it and see if it's something that you can find effective. So I managed to get 220 full pages. Wow, I like that, David. That's so cool. Appreciate that, Monica. So just hit my daily goal, locked in profits. I like that, Freddie. Congrats. So it looks like right now, Apple is still dropping. So we're seeing lower lows and lower highs. You guys see that, right, with the EMA line. And then we got / NQ making new highs. So it's almost up 1% on the day. And there it goes. It's pushing. So. All right. Netflix still pushing. What's the news behind NQ today? Yeah, S&P 500 seeks to extend the winning streak. I just don't see there to be any reason other than the S&P 500 wants to close another green. Yeah. Another green day, which, okay. It's just the momentum as of right now. There it goes. Pushing. Ooh. Market's pushing up again. Looks like we missed out on TQs now. So now it's become so overbought that SQs, I don't know, but then it's so bullish. So from here to here, up almost 1%. So still, it's not anything crazy, but it's really nice to see that it is gapping up, right? It's building a nice little margin. It's about to break 151. So again, if you guys don't remember, when was it? Was it just a couple days back? So we can go even on the 20-day 1-minute chart. It broke above $100 a share, and now it's gained 50%. Pretty impressive, right? This is with an ETF. So 30 days, 5 minutes. That's not 30 days. There we go. Yeah, we're trading at about $100 a share here. It's pretty dope. All right. Appreciate that, Jamo. Thank you. So look at Tesla. I am paying attention to Tesla just made new highs. Yeah, so that's what I was just looking at. My alerts set up here. TQs is getting expensive. Watch TQs go through a stock split just so it could cap up, right? That'd be funny. I'm gonna have to update you guys on TQs because again, now I'm put in a predicament that I'm sure a lot of you guys, for those that are paying attention to this, market is very bullish, but now it's overbought. Now I almost want to go into SQs, but I don't want to go against the overall direction of the market because it's so bullish, right? But this is not a good deal where it would really have to continue to rally for it to even be considerable trade to even be worth taking. And I don't really want to leave it to that. So would you hold TQs for a swing trade since it does not decay? It still decays. Adrian, it still decays, but then that's one of the things that you have to understand. It's like still an ETF, right? And it's still triple leverage, so it still decays. It's just obviously the market is so bullish that it makes sense on one of the things that we've talked about even in the course, that your day trade criteria should always be different than your swing trade criteria. And with your swing trade criteria, I think consistency over time is so much more important. And that's one of the things that we have been getting, not just on TQs, but on the overall market and in a lot of these stocks. So it makes sense on why people are swing trading them. When it comes down to an ETF, I just want to make sure that you're aware it still does decay over time. So I hope that answers your question. But yeah, I'm just going to set my alerts. Even if I can just get TQs for a good deal, I don't have to make a crazy amount today. But I do not want to buy it when it's so overbought. That's just me. So Apple looks like even a little bit of a better deal. I was trying to calculate what the upside is on this. But this thing even has smaller margins. So there it goes. And Tesla is running, but Tesla's a little bit different. Tesla's like its own little machine. So on TQs, where do you set alerts for such situation? So I would say, the middle VWAP has been a very common general support range. So I would like to see this thing pull back. I just want to see a pullback where, because it's so bullish, I know that most likely it's going to continue to uptrend. I just want there to be a pullback where I can buy it, right? And then average up and the margin to be worth it. That's all I want. If I get that, it doesn't have to be huge or crazy margins. I just know I can do well with that. So whatever that means to you, right? If it pulls back down to the middle VWAP, the SMA line, maybe it just needs to pull back to the EMA line for you. I don't know what criteria you have. I just want the margins to be worth it. That's my main focus. I like that it's so bullish. I like that it's a good, or it's not a good deal, but it's so bullish and has a clear and consistent pattern. Now I just need to wait for the good deal. So that is the criteria I am personally waiting for. So just know when it's pulling back, my alerts are getting triggered and I'm paying attention to TQs to see if it's time to buy, not the dip, but buy the little pullback. So we'll leave it at that. But I do appreciate you guys' time. Again, I do want to sincerely apologize for being 30 minutes late. I did the little thing of like my alarm went off and I was like, just 5 more minutes. And don't know why I did that, but closed my eyes and 30 minutes or 40 minutes later, I'm here. So sincerely do apologize. I'll see you guys tomorrow at market open. And please don't even feel encouraged to take a position if you don't see value or it doesn't meet your criteria. Don't get FOMO, anything like that. Set your alerts. If the market's too overbought, too overextended, and it just doesn't meet your criteria, know when to walk away. The more you say no, I think the more structure you're implementing into your life and the more selective you're being, which I think big picture is something that you're doing well. Be encouraged and empowered to say no. Like always, let's make sure that we end the year on a green note. Take it easy, team.